This time on Low Boost, we throw the race brake pads in the C5 Corvette, we bleed them, and then we take them for a test drive. These are Raybestos st47 racing braking pads. From what I've seen, these are the best pads you can get for a C5 Corvette. I know it says not for street use, but they heat up pretty well and they work pretty good. In most conditions, minimal brake dust, they last a while and they grip really well. And the biggest thing you want to worry about with braking is heat, and these can stand up to a lot of heat. So let's start putting these on. We're gonna do the fronts first because I'm still waiting for new rotors for the back because that one done got messed up. All right, so what I did was I ended this here with a 15mm socket with an 18, hard to see because it's dark, 18mm wrench on that, and then the whole thing just flies back, pull the pads out. If you look at the pads though, they weren't actually in bad shape. They were actually in pretty good shape, but you know, you never really know what you're dealing with, and the rear ones were a little messed up, and yeah, they weren't bad. They probably would have got by, but these brake pads are much better. So I peeled this back. I have a bungee cord on that so I don't really stretch out and put too much pressure on that brand new braided brake line that we just did. I'll put a link in the description below to the brake lines that I did because this is a separate video from that. Pop right in. I obviously kept the retaining clips in there as well. Hold it in. I got a brake caliper compressor, but because I haven't bled the brakes yet, I could even just push these in by hand because a lot of the fluid came out when I did the brake lines. So it's a good time to do it. Makes it easier, but if you're not going to bleach brake lines, you're going to need a brake caliper compressor to be able to do that. So I got the pads here, and we're just going to flip this up and tie it all together. I also sprayed some brake clean on the rotor. Rotor's in decent shape. Should hold up for a while longer, and then we'll replace it with a nice one at some point. I am going to torque all these to spec in a minute. Just wanted to get everything back together. These weren't so bad either, but the new ones are just going to give us some better grip. And like we said before, these brake pads are the only major difference between a Z06 and a non-Z06. These brake calipers and rotors are all the same. It's the only thing being the difference. So we're effectively going to upgrade it with the Raybestos pads. Shaped up. So I got these rotors really freaking quick. It said they weren't supposed to get here till Wednesday, but I ended up getting, I got Rock Auto, Centric, rotors for the rear, because obviously we got all jacked up with the other ones, but you just gotta be mindful. These fins go in one direction, so you could actually put them on the wrong way. But I matched up what the old one looked like on the other side and this one, and it's the same. So we pop the brake pads out just like we did in the front by undoing that bolt. We're gonna put these two back in and button everything up, and then we'll start bleeding them. So with this brake caliper spreader, it is a little bit difficult to actually push it all the way in without actually getting on the outside of it. So what I did was, I wish I showed you the animation here. I took the old caliper and put it right on the piston, right? And then I put this on and pushed it in that way. That way it pushed it right back in, and this didn't gouge out any part of the piston because we don't want any of that to get scuffed up. But I felt like that was the best way to do that. So next I'm just gonna undo these, and I have a bleeder we're gonna try. We'll see how it works. So the next thing I have to do is I have to actually bleed the brakes, but I want to actually suck out some stuff first. This is not going how I want it to at the moment. None of that stuff can get in there. Probably should have got a turkey baster for this, but we're gonna have to roll with it as it is. And this is like a little reservoir for it. So when I pump it out, it actually prevents it from hitting this pump. This pump will actually use on the brake calipers themselves, but this is an easy way to suck out all the stuff we want. This will suck it right out into there. And I'm just gonna kind of aim this thing where it's gotta go. As you can see, hasn't been changed very well. I might even run some of the cheap stuff through this just to get the rest of it out. You can see though the reservoir is filling up. Got a nice steady flow coming in. There it is. So once we suck out all that crap, then I'll put some clean brake fluid in, and we could start to put the good stuff in too. This is pretty gunky, so it's a good thing we're doing this. I suggest doing this every track day. I know some people don't, but if you actually go to the track and your brake fluid looks like this, they're probably not gonna let you drive. They will not let you drive with brake fluid looking like that, or they're gonna make you flush it out. So just get it done, do it the right way. Be safe. This will protect you from having your brakes boil over on you too, so you don't want that. Here, flip it out. What happens to brake fluid when it gets too hot is you'll start to get what they call a soft pedal, where your pedal might even go to the floor. The brake fluid almost turns into like a gel substance, which makes your hydraulic brakes almost non-existent, and you really need to have them cool off. The last place you want to have this happen is at coming off of a straightaway at 120 miles an hour and your pedal sinks to the floor. So the better brake fluid you have, the less likely you are to have that happen to your car. Really, even if you do a brake upgrade, it's not necessarily about how well the stopping power is, it's actually about how well it can dissipate heat. So you get a big brake kit, yeah, it is gonna stop a little better, but it's also gonna last a lot longer because it's gonna dissipate heat. That's why carbon ceramic brakes are great, because they do such a great job at dissipating that heat. On the street, you're gonna be able to get away with normal brake fluid, but when you're on a track, the car, and especially the brake, sees a lot more heat because you're repeatedly stopping and stopping and stopping from very high speeds, which your brakes could see higher than 1200 degrees in some points on them. That's why you ever see a car at the track with a brake rotor, they're just on fire. It's literally because they're basically on fire. So you need some brake fluid that can handle that temperature. The normal .3 brake fluid that comes in the Corvette is not gonna cut it. But I got Motul 600. Its typical dry boiling point is 594 degrees Fahrenheit, which is almost triple what .3 brake fluid is. You can get these on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description below for them. The more you buy, the cheaper it is per bottle. But just 2 of these will actually get through for a track day for the Corvette. And they recommend you change your brake fluid every track day. All right, so I got them all on. Now, don't let this deceive you. These are not just your typical wagon wheels. These are 18 by 9.5 all the way around. There's not a whole lot of poke. There's actually a lot of recess here in the back, but it's safe, and that's the wheel that's supposed to be on there. In the front, it does actually, I mean, maybe a millimeter or so. But this is what a lot of people say work. These are 275, 35, 18s all the way around. So we are gonna try a track day with these. I kind of like the big 18s up front. I think it makes it look a little bit different. But yeah. Okay, so off camera, I had to bleed them individually. And you gotta make sure, depending on what your Corvette you have, because the order that you bleed the brakes on each side are different. But because I got those speed bleeders, you can do them by yourself and you can do them at the track if you need to. So you just untighten one, use the bleeder, suck it out, or you can pump the brake pedal, and then once there's straight fluid coming out and no bubbles, then you can tighten it off. But the speed bleeders are great because they allow you to do it yourself without the need for actually having somebody else stand there and watch. But I was able to use the gun and it sucks it out. It was very tedious and really messy, and I was gonna get all my camera equipment all shot by doing it. So had to do it off camera, but there's your finished product with the new wheels and RA71s on. So let's go bed these brakes and take them for a drive and see how it goes. So far, these Raybestos st47 brakes grip really well. The initial bite's great, and they're progressive all the way till you put your foot on the floor. However, just like race brakes do, these things squeal. People look at me like, sir, you have bad brakes on your car. I'm like, nope, they're supposed to be like that. They're race brakes, but they don't have too much dust, which I'm actually really happy with. So awesome on the st47 so far. Make sure you guys stay up to date on my uploads. Cover some more things in the next episode. You know, especially here now, can't do a whole lot. Can't go out, you know, during the coronavirus quarantine, but ain't no corona in the garage. Just Sam Adams cold snap, which is good. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.
I'ma make you pump like that. Make you pump like that.